Hi, um, my name is Legacy. I am a writer, um, and a performer, and I kind of just want to talk about basically how the past year and a half has been for me since I made the decision to move out to Los Angeles, to, I guess, pursue music and what that means for me and how I feel like my opinion on things has changed. Yeah. Um, So I guess I like my main reasons that I would tell people that I was coming out here because like musically I was pretty fulfilled. Like I had a band, like I was writing all the time, but I always felt like I could be doing so much more and I really wanted to be engaging with it every day and like seeing how far I could take it. And so the intent was to just like become as great at it as I could, right? And it's like, oh, where are you gonna go? You fucking come here. Um, but in being here, like, you slowly get wrapped up in the fucking, hey, I know this guy, hey, like, I can do this for you? And so, like, I come out here, I don't know anybody. All I wanna do is fucking make music and just get good and, like, everybody tells you it's all about your connections, the connection, the people that you know. Um, because it's like disgusting how talented most people are here. But I also find like it's a homogenized talent, if that makes sense. So, anyways, this place forced me to fucking find my own voice, which is great, but also I found myself getting like I like really got lost in the fucking uh the game of it all. Like, ooh, if I could just know this person, if I could just get this, and if I could just play a gig here, then I'll get to the next part. And then, like the typical human thing where like you get the thing and then you're still not happy. And so I ended up getting myself into like heinous situations where it's like I'm being manipulated and like taken advantage of just because it's like, oh well, this person, and like, this is where we're gonna do it, and like we're in this together, and like we're gonna make a song, and we're gonna fucking go tour, and so when you come alone to a place like this, you like, for me, I think I was just like doing what I was like, oh, I'll go out and sing and I'll just do it. But like you're kind of waiting for something to happen because that's what everybody tells you. It's like, ooh, once someone discovers you, that's bullshit. You don't get discovered by somebody else, you discover yourself. Um, and after that happens is when things actually like open up. And I'm not saying like even that, it's like sitting around and waiting for opportunities to fall out of your lap. Like, no, like don't ever sit around and wait for somebody to reach out to you or like, whatever. Just like keep on doing it regardless of what's happening out here. Like the whole point of the fucking artistry is to fucking fine craft it and get good at it. But and it's funny because that was like my intention. It's like I really want to become a great writer. I was super interested in what artists were doing, and then over time, I like wouldn't check the charts because it made me anxious. Maybe I was a little jealous of people, and like I was like I want to be there, and I felt really unfulfilled just because the game became about getting stuff. Um, so that's like one part of it. But the other part that I didn't really tap into until about this past week is I'm like, why am I experiencing like I'm like writing every day? I have all the time in the world. I just finished an EP I'm about to release. Like I'm doing this stuff. Why do I still feel so unfulfilled? And I didn't realize that on in coming out here, like sure what I really wanted for myself, selfishly, I guess, was to get good at the things that I do and to find fulfillment. But um I guess a part of my like past brain set myself out here on a mission to do some saving, not only for myself but like for some like particular people. Like it was kind of like once I get out there and I get the things that I need, I can finally like make my return home and solve the problems that I have been facing my whole life, and to help the people that can't seem to help themselves. And so I didn't realize like like the responsibility and everything that I was putting on what it meant for me to be out here. I basically came out here to be like fucking Jesus Christ. And it's like, I'm not ashamed of it because, yeah, there was like a huge part of me that just had this tension. It was like, well, like I want recognition and fame and a part, all of these things. And a part of me wants it because it's like, I feel like my work is good and I deserve it. But also, I really want it just so that I can get money and I can go home and I can save mommy and I can fucking save myself so that I can allow myself to have a break. Um, which is like a pretty painful thing. And it's like, God, like I really came out here to just like resolve like things that can't ever really be resolved, or things that like aren't my responsibility to heal. And so I think like in being an artist, the reason why a lot of people get lost, and what I see a lot in Hollywood is like, yeah, you're using these things. And I'm here's the thing, I'm not pointing fingers because this has been my experience and a lot of the drive behind everything that I've done, but it's like you use the things as a way to try to solve problems that you can't solve with these things, like ever. Like these are things that are like decades in the past, or um deep down like emotional entities that have nothing to do really with what's going on, but your brain kind of like gives justification as to why like it'll solve it. And like interestingly enough, like I don't actually think the performance was ever that for me. Like going up and performing was never a thing where it's like I need to be seen, because it's like I can spend all day in my house and I don't give a fuck. Like I don't really like I don't feel like I care if like people even see me or not. But it's more so like, well, I need that though, because then with that attention comes the success, and then with success comes money. And then once I get money, I can go buy mom a house, and then I can not have to worry about working a job, and I can have peace. I can be stress free. I can have ease. And I can make art without feeling like there's a pressure to it, without responsibility. Not like I have to like do this now in order to like appeal or appease people, or uh yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. In this the industry, I mean, obviously like markets off of people's suffering, but your suffering is also a weapon that you can use to help other people. And so it's like that nuance right there. It's like when you land it right and you're able to reach the right people with that experience, then it's like um but I think a lot of almost all of my suffering that's come from here is thinking that like I'm saving somebody or even myself by this. And I don't know if I don't honestly, I don't really even know what this means at this point, but it's just like it's almost like sickening to become aware of this, cuz I'm like fuck, like so are the things that I'm doing, like do I enjoy them? And the answer is a lot of them, for the most part, no. Like I would go places just out of obligation. Like I had to get that connection, had to get the fucking. And it's like I don't like any of these people, and I don't like what I'm doing. And so I kind of spent the past day like really thinking, what about this do I actually like and actually fulfills me? And it's the connection with people. You know, when I'm playing on the Sunset Strip, I'm not connected to a single thing that is going on there. And I'm like a farm animal being fucking thrown into the venue, thrown out again. Ah, thanks for making us an extra $500. You get none of it. And you know what? If I was reaching new people, that would be okay. That would be fine with me, but nobody's there. No one's there. I have no problem doing any of this shit for free if it's doing what it needs to do, you know, if it's serving, but like it's all just kind of fucked up. And you know, I think I have these like fantasies about going back to Detroit just because it was like, yeah, like when I was writing there, I was so fucking excited just to even have the privilege of being in a band. Like let alone with like really great musicians and like, you know. And it's tough because I do think like I know my talent and I know what I'm capable of and where I want to take this. Um but I'm so tired of getting caught up in the game, and I just like want to do it for the right reasons, you know. And I hate the performative part of it. And I think that's why I've just started to kind of bark a little bit. It's because that inner part of me knew it's like, this is not why we're doing this. You know, everybody, I think, like the idea of like fame and success and money is fun and cool, you know, like it's not like a bad thing to sit there and imagine about, but if I when I put things out there and then they don't result in that, and that's my like expectations, like I need that just because I need to be successful in that way. It's like I'm a fucking failure. But I know I'm not. I know I'm fucking not. If anything, like I'm like ridiculously successful, at least where I've come from and like where I've started. Um, Intention is so important, and the reason why you're doing it is so important. Check yourself. And it's fine to want those things, but like don't let that be the don't let that be the determiner of your success, right? The success is the fact that you fucking made something. You took an idea and you got it there. Fuck all of the rest of it. And I'm so in love with writing now. It's like I can't stop. I'm a writer before I think I am like a singer or anything else. Um, and I don't really feel the pressure to like stick, if that makes sense. Or at least like try so hard. You can't force shit. If it's good, it's good. You can't force yourself to be great in an instant. It takes time. And I've always been so impatient because it was so urgent to do the saving. Um, I don't need I'm not a savior, and I don't need saving.